today. I just got home in time to turn this thing on. Hey, what do we got here? Sit. We got a dog with a goodie. So it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday, 2 days before Halloween. Can't wait for that one. So what we got for you today is a short one because wow, those birds are a little skittish. I have a bunch of birds I just fed. It's going to be Hurricane Andrew. Hurricane Andrew was a 5. That's as high as they go. Hurricanes. Yeah, I don't know why they only go up to 5. Quite a few miles an hour, the 5s are there. They rip a lot of stuff apart. So, whenever you go out for, let's say, a vacation, always check the weather, the kind of weather that country has, because it's very important that you do this, which me and my girlfriend did not do. We booked it 6 months ahead of time. It was going to Cabo San Lucas, and because that was the deal between this girlfriend and me, that we would save up for a whole year, and I get to choose first on where we're going to go. And I said, I don't care where we go so long as it has fantastic fishing. She says, oh, okay. So she gets on the computer, comes up with, there's a five choices, but she said Cabo. And I remember my mom and stepdad going to Mazatlan and just different places of Mexico. They always loved it. So, and they always said they wanted to go to Cabo. So I said, because my stepdad was a fisherman too. So that's what I said. I said, okay, she comes back and says, gives me a choice. I said, I want Cabo. She says, okay. So we saved up for a year. I was already saving up for like half a year. It was just that we just didn't decide on where we were going to go yet. So that's what happened. We did go to Cabo for our 7-day vacation, and we didn't check to see when hurricanes and typhoons and stuff happen in other countries. Like it was September, October was when the big ones hit over there in Cabo. In fact, we have a few right now. And we're in October, so this is the time you're going to find hurricanes and typhoons and everything hitting everybody get flooded and ripped apart. Hey guys, you're starting to talk here. Sorry, I got the sun in my eyes. I'll see what I can do with some glasses on. See what happens. Okay, so let's go back a little smidge here. Hey, we got a few here. Hey, looks like somebody from India by the writing. Hello. And another AB Asadouj. Hi. Hey guys. And Emily Martinez. Hello. And I'm going to say maybe that's Russian. I don't know. It looks like you with all the 7s. It looks like. Are you from Russia? Okay, Emily Martinez, hi again. Emily Martinez, are you from Oklahoma? I'm not from Oklahoma. I've been through Oklahoma. It's kind of flat. Not many, few hills, no mountains, right? Oklahoma. It was Route 66. We traveled that up and down numerous times. I went to 20 schools. I did graduate. This is the thumbnail on Hurricane Andrew. The thumbnail. And it was in Cabo San Lucas that Uncle Martin was in. And at that time, let's go right to the story. We go to Cabo. We didn't think about what the weather was going to be. And it was beautiful, by the way, for the first 3-4 days. And this is what happened. Captain Jack. Everybody goes out to Cabo and gets a hold of Captain Jack. Watch this guy like a hawk. I was going out for marlin. We rented his big boat. Go out for marlin. It was like $100 each. It was pretty high back then, but it was a big boat. And it was just us two and the help. And they got a mullet, big mullet for these marlin. And mullet, I used to eat mullet in Florida when Gramps would gig them. And these guys, I said, mullet, wow, we can eat mullet. And they said, mullet. See, everybody has different feelings about catfish, mullet, seafood in some extents. Mullet is a very vegetarian fish, by the way. That's another story. Okay, Emily Martinez, you're from Alaska. I'm going to go to Alaska someday because that's the last frontier. Arizona was the last frontier. Maybe it is still, but got to go out in the desert really far. I guess it kind of still is. So Arizona, Texas, Alaska might be good places to homestead. I think there's some places left, you know. Okay. Cabo San Lucas, going for marlin. Now, Captain Jack is telling us all these stories. Captain Jack is a storyteller. He says, this is a very poor, very poor village we have here in Cabo San Lucas. So whatever you catch, you share with the captain. Hey, what's going on? He wants another one. Do you deserve another one? Yeah, I'm a sucker for giving him another goodie. So Captain Jack tells us all these stories about how poor it is, and we share whatever catch. We didn't even catch anything yet. And by the way, when we're out there on top of the water, these marlin are laying on top of the water. I had an oar. I said I can go over, just pull close. I club one of them and bring them aboard. And he says no. See those ships out there? Those are federales. They'd come in and get it. They'll just definitely come in and give us a fine and put you in jail. I said, oh well, forget about that. So we went out a little further. The reason that marlin was on top of the water because they were sunning and getting warm. He says it's 5 degrees too cool down in the water, so that's why they're always up laying on top of the water sunning until the water warms up. Yeah, whatever the story was. Man, I wanted a marlin really bad, smoked marlin. Another day, I suppose. So we get out a little further. He says I got another place we can go. So we get a little further out, and my girlfriend. Sue, she hooks onto something, and her pole bends over like nobody's business. It was almost like the last episode I did with 3 times a day. I worked into that one to where Bro didn't go to the bathroom for like 7 days. He had to go to the hospital, and then when Gramps and I went off the pier, and I missed catching that big manta ray. But when the hook stuck me in the back of I had to go to the hospital too. So both of us went to the hospital the same day. 2 different circumstances. So we have back to the little story of Cabo. She hooks into this yellowtail. A yellowtail can be a big fish. What do we got here? BUNDUN 8755. Hello, I subscribed. Well, bless your heart. If you have something I can subscribe to, I will subscribe to you. Anybody out there? That's the law of the West here in Arizona. You subscribe to me, I subscribe to you. I think it's fair, isn't it? So now she's hooked into this something, and she's not stuck on the bottom of the ocean. She's actually reeling in, but she can only reel in for about 2 minutes. 2 minutes, and tears come down her eyes. She says, "I can't do it anymore. I can't reel them. I can't reel." I said, "Hey, you know what, Sue? There's a fisherman law. Once you catch something, you got to pull it in." So she lasted another 30 seconds, and I couldn't put up with all those tears. So I said, "Give me the pole." So. You don't have a YouTube channel? I'm only 9 years old. Hey, Bundun 8755. When you do get a channel, I'll join your club. 9 years of experience. That's when a lot of things opened up for me. Check out, go back on my lives where it says, or I got so many, but look up Vikings versus Columbus. That's when my eyes opened up on what school is feeding you, okay? It's very important you check that one out someday. No rush. So she's hooked into this yellowtail. Didn't know it was a yellowtail. So now she gives me the pole, and I'm 18, 22 minutes reeling this sucker in, and I had enough line on it to where it was going out. I'm pulling it in, going out, going in, because it wasn't going to happen again. Remember the last one over 3 times a day? That one, I had all the lead tightened so bad. There was a 50-pound test, and when it popped like a firecracker, and it wasn't going to happen again. See, you live and learn. Okay. Uh, your local country boy, number one, please. Yeah, well, you're a local country boy, number one. Hey, I don't know if that's your handle or you're saying I'm a local country boy. I'm actually a country boy. So finally, we get this fish close to where they're going to hook into it. It's an 84-pound yellowtail. Now, we know what it is because when we get back to shore, we hook it up and they weigh it. It's 84 pounds. Now, prior to this, remember what Captain Jack said? It's a very, very poor town. Whatever you catch, you share with the captain. Yeah, I said, okay. 42 pounds of meat from me. That's fine. And yellowtail, I didn't even know what yellowtail was. It's a succulent fish. When I got home, I smoked it. I grilled it. Pretty much, it was fantastic. And that's what I found out. Captain Jack was a liar. Well, a big fibber. Maybe not on this one point. He said he came out in 1965, to Cabo San Lucas, and he didn't know, nobody. He was just a white guy from, I think, New Orleans. And he said he went diving with Jacques Cousteau. Jacques Cousteau, he's a Frenchman. Just look up Jacques Cousteau. He's a well-known guy going down and filming sharks and stuff. And that's what he said. There was all kinds of sharks out here, too. Put that on the back shelf, please. Hey, but me and my dad, you go fishing. Father and son fishing is the most fantastic thing you could do. I wish my dad went fishing with me, but he wasn't really a fisherman. Oh, that's another story. My grandfather was a fisherman. So, yeah, somebody in the family took me out at 4 years of experience. Hey, Anthony Steffens, Uncle Martin, what's up? What's up is, hey, you're a local country boy. I'm subscribed. Okay, local country boy, I'll subscribe to you if you have a channel. That's the law of the West. And Stevens Diggs is laughing. Okay, Anthony Stevens, you're laughing. That's good. You have cosmic humor. Not many people have humor anymore. It's very, very, yeah, very depressing. One more for guess who. I think he's burying them. There's no way he can be eating these all at once. Oh my God, I take that back. Look at that. He's chewing them up like candy. And these are rawhides. I guess he's a big dog. What do you use? What do I use for bait? Okay. I use, in the ocean, we always use squid or bloodworms. Bloodworms they bite you. My grandfather says they don't bite you. But you know what? When you try to hook them, their little heads come out and they got these little spikes and they do bite you. So don't believe anything like that. I always cut off their heads with a knife and then I hook them. But the worm doesn't live as long. So maybe you should use gloves. You'll have your bait last longer with bloodworms. The other one was squid. A lot of people eat squid, but we used it in Jersey for stripers and stuff like that. And then we got mullet. We actually ate mullet in Florida. It was fantastic. Now we're using mullet to catch the swordfish, the marlin, which we couldn't catch. But that's what I'm saying. We have this sharing food now with Captain Jack, and he says, "Oh, by the way, I married this girl, and that's why I got all these boats, and I have this cantina. I'm inviting you over for." He says, "I'm inviting you over to the cantina." Now, in my mind, I thought when you're inviting me over, you're going to pay for my bill. No, we had some swordfish soup, some kind of, I don't know what it was. It was about $20 worth of something, and What got me about Captain Jack was his wife was doing all the cooking. Captain Jack's still telling stories at the table, ha ha ha. But his wife's running back and forth, taking our dishes, giving us our food. So as me being a food server and working in the restaurants most of my life, I figured, well, I'm going to give this little lady a tip. So I went over and I gave her, well, it was like $22 for the bill. We paid that, and then I went over to her. I gave her $20. So I give her $20, and she's, oh my, and she puts it in her like pocket. And Captain Jack is watching this, so he goes over and immediately takes it away from her. Now that's very negative, especially in front of me. I've given this lady a tip, and he comes back and says, well, you don't have to tip here. I said, really? I don't have to tip here. Okay. So he had to go do something. I went up. I gave her another $20. I said, keep this from your husband, man. This is not right. We'll leave it at that one, man, because the guy wasn't really very truthful with me. Okay, Country Boy 1. You're so wholesome. I love your videos. I'm going to watch them every day after me and my dad go fishing. I'm in high school. Hey, fantastic. When you're fishing is a good time to watch Uncle Martin, because you don't even have to watch me. You just have to listen to me, because I tell so many stories so many true stories. And that's what I'm saying. True stories that affect the heart and the mind. All right. I go on different levels with everyone. Anthony, I got rich in prison. Anthony Stevens got rich in prison. Hope you weren't dealing anything. Hope you weren't working with the guards. I was not in prison. I was in jail. Actually, a farm in California. I was supposed to be there for half a year. I think I did that one a few back. If you want to check out something with jail, I'm really bad with memory on my. It's something with. You'll be able to find it. And the older ones, I had going to jail, and this one was another thing with jail. Part 2. You might enjoy it. You being in prison. Having no fear. Having no fear in jail. That's how you live, rather than be taken out. Kind of went into that. Hey, Becker Prods, Uncle Martin. Hey, how you doing? Becker Prods, hi. Becker Prods, hi. So we're at this little cantina, and he's taking money away from his wife. I'm tipping. Well, she put that other 20 away, and he didn't see it, so she got some spending money. This guy, he owns a cantina with his wife, and that's how he could buy all these boats now. He can buy land, and he's telling me he's a poor, maybe it is poor, but he is not poor. So he came in 65 swimming and scuba diving with Jacques Cousteau, the guy from France, okay? So he's telling me about all these sharks. There's sharks in the water. All right, so yeah, who cares? I'm not going in the water. Put that on the back shelf. So it was like, so we had the fish. We got a big cooler. He says, make sure you get a ticket when you give these guys your fish, because sometimes you don't get your fish back. Make sure they give you a ticket. That was one truth that I followed. So the guy that I bring the fish. It's like 2 hours old. 2 hours, and it's been iced. I give it to this guy, and I said, he says, oh, what is this? I said, it's fresh yellowtail. He says, fish. It was like, he hated it. He thought it smelled, and it's impossible because it's fresh fish. I said, oh, by the way, I want a ticket. He says, a ticket? I said, yeah, I want a ticket for this fish. He comes back with a blue ticket. I think it was 17. So he goes, puts it away. So 4 days later, I want my fish, and he can't. The same guy. Oh, I don't know where it's at. We looked everywhere. We can't find it. Everybody has this story. It seems like that's why Captain Jack tells the truth on one thing: get a ticket. Anybody going to Cabo? You got fish. They're putting it in a freezer. Make sure you get a ticket. So I get the manager over. I've worked in restaurants. I want a manager. I want the head guy. So the manager comes. He comes back. I don't know where it is. I said, hey, you know what? Come here. And then my girlfriend Sue says, Uncle Martin, you have your Pentax, which is a nice big fat camera Takes very fantastic pictures. It shows red for not taking a picture. Yellow is intermediate. Green makes sure you take a picture on green. So I have these, hey guys, come here, man. I want to take a picture. Come here. I said, stand over there by this big plant. Yeah, you guys look fantastic. Put your arms around each other. Yeah. Smile for me. And they're all, and I click, and I said, you know what? You might be smiling now, but when I get a hold of this owner that owns this property, that owns this hotel, and I show them this picture that I have a ticket and you don't have my fish, you will not be smiling. Oh, their frowns went like, ooh. It was terrible for them. 3 minutes later, they come back with my fish, what I put in my big cooler. Now that was one I was leaving out, and that's what that's what I'm saying. They get you one way or the other. All right. The manager comes out and says, "Hey, you know what? Because this big storm just hit that I didn't get into yet, and then I'm all done." So I tell you about the storm, Hurricane Andrew. So you're gonna love this part. I'm just trying to finish up these jokers that weren't gonna give me my fish, but there's ways of them getting you. So at the big sign says, "Get out by 11 o'clock, 11 a.m., or you're getting charged another day." Okay, so I was there at 10:30, and now at 10:30, after all this rigmarole of me getting my fish, it's now like 11 o'clock. I paid already, and that was a mosquito on my face. I got him. Ooh. So the manager says, "Hey, you know what? The bus is late," because it was like a 45-minute drive for a bus ride back to the airport. He says, "The bus ride is late. They're going to come at 2 o'clock. You might as well just go back to your room, watch a movie. Come on back about 2 o'clock. So we did come back at 2 o'clock, and there's the bus. But we didn't realize the other bus came right after we went up to our room. So now he wants another day's pay for us being there. I said, "No, man, you said we can go back." I couldn't find the manager. All I had was the other schnooker that didn't give me my fish. He says, "Oh, he's gone." And I didn't hear anything. You got to pay another day. So they got us for another day. And when you want to get out, you got to pay another $50 to get out of Cabo if you're on a plane. Just little things to put on the back shelf. So backtracking to where now, it's like it's the day before we're going to leave. The waves, everything turns dark, and the ocean's like there's like 6 foot, possibly 7 foot waves coming in. And I'm thinking, hey, this is fantastic. This reminds me of when I went body surfing and surfing. And then that's what Sue said. She says, you used to surf, and you're a body surfer. I said, yeah, well, I Jersey, and Malibu, little Rio Carrillo, Zuma Beach, I was there, lived there. And so she says, well, why don't you go out there, dear, and show me what you got? I said, well, I don't know. Those waves look kind of high. She says, what, are you afraid? I said, nah, I'm not afraid, but okay. So I took off. It's like sunset. Like this. It's an Arizona sunset, kids. And that's about what it was when I was looking at it. That was east, but it was behind us. So I got swimming out, and I was getting under all the big waves. And then I got out about, I'm going to have to say a quarter mile, because it's kind of an undertow. It wasn't too hard to get out there. I was wondering how I was going to get back. So I'm starting counting waves. As any surfer or body surfer knows, you count at least 7 or the 9th wave, and that's usually the biggest one. So I counted like 1, 2, 3, 4, wherever I was starting at, and I said, hey, that's number 7. That's very spiritual, and that looks big enough for me. So as soon as 7 comes, I start paddling this way towards shore. All of a sudden, I'm lifted up. I'm skimming across the water like just skimming. I mean, this is the best ride I've ever had in my life. I'm getting pushed towards shore. Now, the shoreline in Cabo is a little different than Florida or New Jersey. Jersey, you go out 6 feet and you're about 12 foot under. In Florida, you can go out quite a bit. And even in Rocky Point in Mexico, you can go out about a quarter mile, half mile before anything goes down. So it's like different shorelines. And I didn't check the shoreline. I didn't even know what I just just went out there swimming. So I'm skimming across the water, and all of a sudden I get from the water onto the beach, and I'm skimming now on the dry sand. And when I stand up, I have nothing but a bunch of. I'm looking down, and I can't even see my nipples. There's blood everywhere, and my girlfriend says that was fantastic. That was a fantastic ride. I said, yeah, but I'm kind of like, and she says, don't worry about it. Blood always, salt water is the best thing for it. Go on out there and wash it off. So I'm out waist level deep, bloody, throwing water up, cleaning myself off, and then in my mind it hits me. Jacques Cousteau was here, and he was filming sharks. If you look it up, there's big whites and all kinds of other sharks that are in Cabo. It's sundown. Sundown in Cabo. That's when the sharks come out and eat, let alone 2 miles away. I think it's even more than that. One drop of blood, a shark can smell 2 to 5 miles away. One drop. And I'm covered in blood. And I'm all washing it off. And I'm thinking, man, I am waist deep in the wrong area. So I get back, I skedaddle out. So we go back to the house, back to the room. And all of a sudden, because a lot of wind was coming and everything, it was Hurricane Andrew hitting us. We didn't know that at the time. So after, I mean, our building was rocking a little bit, but you know what? I was tired and I went to sleep. I slept through the whole thing. So in the morning, when I come outside, mind you, from when I got out of the shoreline and you look right, there was all these homes, nice 1-2-story homes all along the shoreline. Now the next day I come out and there's not one house. There's nothing but a bunch of cement. There isn't even a stick. There's just cement. Everything was whipped out by Hurricane Andrew, Hurricane 5, okay? Hey, CG Allen, 14, hi, Uncle. How's your day? My day is fantastic. I'm just living a good life. Living a dream. CJ, you got to start this from the beginning. It's fantastic. This is about the thumbnail on Hurricane Andrew. I'm finishing up right now. So Hurricane Andrew, we didn't know about it until I looked into it later. Took out all the homes all along the shoreline. Now, this is why you want to check out wherever you're going to find out if there's monsoons or hurricanes. That's all. That's all I'm saying. And pretty much that's what it comes down to. Being safe where you're going to go. Philippines, when do they have monsoons? There's a bunch of hurricanes and monsoons going right now that are flooding out people. I just watched it today, and there's a lot of flooding going on in different areas. So October, that's what I'm saying. We were there in October, and it's September, October. That's when it usually hits everywhere. Florida, Jamaica. That's where it's hitting now, I guess. All over the place. September, October. So it's something to think about and putting on the back shelf to always look before you take your vacation in these type of areas. Okay. I almost forgot. Thank you, Subconscious. Subconscious has all your information. So the next morning, we're ready to go. But we go down to the buffet, all-you-can-eat buffet. Fantastic, fresh fruits and everything. So me and Sue are sitting down eating our breakfast and everything. And I look over to the left, back in the back, and there's these three guys. One guy has a bandage around his head. Now, this is the next day after Andrew hit. A bandage around his head. One guy has a cast on his arm. Another has a cast on his leg. The other guy has his broken ribs, I found out. Okay, one more. That's all I got. So I'm thinking, I'm just that kind of guy. I ask questions. So I looked over to them and I said, they look at me. And I'm all healthy. I just got, they can't see all the bruises I've got on my chest. Took a while for me to see my nipples. It was just they skimmed right off or something. I don't know if they grow back, but. So I look over to them and I say, hey guys, body surfing? And they all said, Yep. See, they got caught tumbling. They didn't catch the wave correctly, so they hit a wave that rolled them through the sand, and whatever God only knows else was out there that Uncle Martin missed. See, the angels again were at my side. I caught a 7 foot wave, maybe more, because they said the waves went up to 10 foot, but they were no 10 foot when I was there. So I was catching them early. It's between 6.5, 7 foot. I was catching my wave skimming across the water. Now they must have maybe got there later, but they got a bad wave, and it just all three of them got wiped out. So it can happen that way. That's why you got to be really careful when you go surfing or body surfing. Definitely body surfing. I just wanted to put that out there. That the angels once again was with me. And that's what I say. Look back, anybody that missed it. Angels are amongst us. I go into that in detail. And I still got more stories on it, but it's so cute. I forgot to mention it on this one because angels were definitely there for me. So we're at 31 minutes. Okay, perfect. End of the story. See the sunlight? In the grass that has to be cut, which I'm doing tomorrow. So whatever we have out there that's still with Uncle Martin, thumbs up or thumb down. And if you're coming in late, you might as well wait until after 6 o'clock tomorrow because that's when I really get credit. But you can still leave a comment. You know, comments are fantastic. And if you join the club, join my subscribe me. I'll subscribe to you. And until then, thank you for being here this long. And I will have something for you tomorrow, Thursday. See, today is must be the 28th, or no, it's the 29th. Yes. Tomorrow is the 30th, and Friday is going to be Halloween, 31. And that'll be a fantastic one on Friday. It'll be about, I'm not going to tell you. It's going to be fantastic. So tomorrow will be pretty cool too. So tomorrow at 5, God willing. If not, for sure, I'll have something for you on Friday. So until then, be well, God victory. And don't be shy. Mosquitoes are biting the heck out of me. Share Uncle Martin. That way, more people can enjoy a true story. Until then, God victory, be well. See you more than likely tomorrow.